Hello everybody. First of all, I'd like to apologize how abruptly the last tutorial video ended. My camera overheated and this has been like a difficult video to make for me because I've tried it 3 times. A couple times the volume was not working. I don't know if it had to do with my wireless mic or what, but I fixed that and then the camera overheated. But at the end of the video, I was just simply finishing off this bracelet that we had made throughout the tutorial and with these cute little knots here. I don't know, like pretzel knots. So here is the finished product of that tutorial, this multi-strand bead and leather cord bracelet. Beautiful design that accommodates a variety of wrist sizes due to having the ability to extend out the eyelets in the leather and then having a dangle here if you choose. But endless possibilities as for beads. Very comfortable. The drape is good. Very, you can mix it up. You can get crazy with your designs. You don't have to be matchy-matchy, and it comes together really well and beautiful. And you can use up your bead soups and remnants of other projects and come out with a gorgeous product at the end. These are great for craft fairs and farmers markets because you can pre-make them, and due to the design, the ability to accommodate different wrist sizes is wonderful. So here's a few others that I did where I attached a charm bell and then a charm. I used an overhand knot. That's another option you can use if you don't want to get too fancy and do the barrel knot or macrame. You can just do overhand knots to close off each end and then make your end eyelet with an overhead knot too, or you can use a combination of both like we did here with the macrame knot and then the barrel knots. It's endless. There is no wrong or right design. You just get the technique down and you run with it and do what you feel that is right for you and you will be just fine. This one's already been claimed by Deanna, my husband's wonderful co-worker. She saw it as I was showing it to him, and she says, I want that one. So we're going to set that aside for her, and then my daughter-in-law claimed this one. So I'm going to be setting that aside for her. But I am now going to go over the square knot and the barrel knots like I had said I was going to do in the video that abruptly ended. So whether you're doing a single strand barrel knot or multi-strand, it's the same technique. So like we did with these, they had multi-strands involved. So but remember that you're always going to need an excess length of one of the cords in order to construct the barrel knot because it takes up the material. So you can use a straw or a metal tube as long as it accommodates the diameter of the cord that's going to have to go through it. So here I have, and it doesn't have to be a long, it just has to be as long as you're going to make the barrel knot. So I'm going to take the longest cord and I'm going to wrap it around the straw and the other cords. And I'm going to continue to wrap going towards my hand that's holding the straw. And you're going to want to make 2 to at least probably 3, if I'm going to be honest. You could do 2 knots, but 3 is going to give you a pretty nice barrel knot. 3 or more wraps. And then you're going to take your wrapping cord and go through the bottom of the straw and up through the top, holding onto the coils because they will spring loose. And then you can pull and it should slide that straw out and give you a nice barrel knot here. I don't remember which one I was holding here. Make sure you keep a hold of the strand that is the one that passed through the straw. And as you can see, you can get a very nice barrel knot. You can tighten this down some more too, and they'll use this like as a sliding knot too for finishing bracelets and stuff. But whether you're doing 1 cord or multi-cords, it is the same technique. So this would be a single cord. So you lay the straw along it, and you're going to wrap around the straw and back down the straw, wrapping along the cord. And then you can go up through the straw bottom of the straw through the top of the straw. You just slide the straw out. I know it kind of gets fiddly there, but, and then you can straighten up your knot. And it'll get there, just don't give up on it. And there's your barrel knot. Whether it is a single or multi-strand connection, same technique. Now, as for the square knot, I'm going to use another piece of this. You're going to be, when you're doing a macrame square knot, I'm going to use some painter's tape to hold this down. You're going to be basically wrapping around a cord or a wire, whatever you're choosing, but there's going to be a spine basically that you're going to be wrapping the cord around. I'm going to use this one because it's opposing color. So you'll have your bridge, your spine. You're going to bring in your other cord, your working cord is what they'll call it usually. And you'll slide it under the spine. And then I usually tie just an overhand, like if you're tying your shoe knot, to keep the working cord in place. And that's how you're going to start, is kind of with this T shape. And the square knot, how it's a lot of times it's explained, is a series of P's and Q's. So I usually start with a P. So when I say P, I'm taking one of the working cords and lying it over the spine, the bridge of the cord that the square knot is going to be coming up. Then I'm going to take the other cord, working cord, and it's going to come over this one and then under all of them, in the spine too, and up through the opening of the P. And then we're going to pull it closed on both sides. Then that's your first half of your square knot. Then we're going to do a Q. Same, going over and then under all and through the opening of the Q. And then pulling tight. And if you ever forget where your you stopped, it's always where the bump is. So we would start with a P. I struggled with that when I first started. I would like, whoa, which way do I go? But trial and error, I figured it out. So back with the technique, bumps on this side. So Q, over, under all, and through the opening of the Q. And then we're tightening it up. I'm in a little closer for you. I mat down. So where it bumps over here, P, under all and through the top. And then it's a really simple knot. And it's Q, over the top, under all the cords, and through the opening of the Q. And you can actually use this design as your bracelet too. And then you can string beads on there, which I'll show you how to do that technique too in a future tutorial. My next tutorial, I think I'm going to focus on a piece of summer jewelry, that since we're moving into spring and summer. And then we stopped over here, so it's going to be a Q, over, under, through the opening of the Q. And there we have the construction of a square knot. I'll turn it over. So that is simply it in a nutshell there. Square knot, barrel knot, on single or multi-strand. And as you can see, I've done this tutorial a few times. So, and as I said, let me know in the comments if I am getting this channel content right. I appreciate that. And like I said, once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway, and it's going to have something to do with the comments. So you won't have to do any special things. Just I'm going to probably pick a video with the with some comments in it, and then I'm going to draw names out of a hat and give out some prizes. But until the next tutorial, I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your spring, and I look forward to making more of this content for this channel. I've had lots of fun. And until the next tutorial, I'll be seeing you.